to put his number. It was pretty clear.
Tall guy foul.
Keyshawn J. Will, Zoom in, coming to you live from Seaport District, Pier 17, brought to you by Chase. Alan Hahn with Key and Cassidy. Hubbarth joins us right now in studio. Good to see you again.
Thank you for having me.
And we were just talking about numbers.
3 out of the last 5 shows or something like that.
This is the thing, though.
You're on a roll.
Once you're in, like with tractor beam, it's just pull you in, and you can't get back out. But hopefully you don't want to. We were just talking about numbers.
Yes.
And jersey number thing, because Key is big on jersey numbers, and you said you don't like Ohtani wearing 17. You
just don't look right.
Does this weird number?
No,
17?
Because he just need like a 29 or something like that to me. 17 just don't look right.
What do you have against 17?
Well, how does
it
29 look better?
Well, what looks right? So
like
why
a 29.
This is
a 23.
Why does 29 look right?
Because he's so good that the number pulls the swag down. Because if he had a better number, his swag game will be up to me.
Dang, like why is 17 swagless?
Like
who had 17 that in your history that you're thinking about? You're like, that number is bogus. It has to be that because there's no, if you just feel a certain way against about a number.
There's like a rep.
Okay, so here's what I'll tell you. Who has 17 that you feel good about in any sport?
Now, here's the I'm not
You're going to say Plexico Barris, okay. Plex, the only dude that I could jump right out the top of my head. Like Phillip Rivers ain't got no swag. It don't even look right.
PJ Tucker wears 17.
It don't look right.
And that, I mean, you can argue he's the swaggiest
Dennis Schroeder wore 17. That don't, it's just, ugh.
That's
all the hot dudes.
That's it.
Dennis Schroeder?
Always goes back to the Lakers.
Dennis
It's not a Laker thing, but think about it.
He's mad about Dennis Schroeder.
You know what he's got?
Not my point guard.
I wore 9, yeah.
9 rocks. That's a hot dog number, a single digit that rocks.
What's a hot dog number? What's that reference?
That means like just you like diva-ish. You can go. You just got everything. Just everything about you just look on point.
Key. You're not making sense, but I understand you're making in your mind you're making sense, so I respect it.
She don't get the number thing.
I don't. I will fully tell you. I don't I follow the NBA very closely, but you can't. I would fail a number test. I would
Yates,
fail
our producer Yates is with
matter, man.
You hear Yates say numbers matter.
Numbers. I feel the same way.
Sam Darnold wore 14. That's an ugly number.
That's a quarterback number.
Imagine if you put Brett Favre in 14. That wouldn't even look. That would be like, ugh.
No, but like quarterbacks should be 1 through what, 20?
Not even.
Not even.
I would keep it to like 1 through 15, maybe. I would keep it.
Yeah, 1 through 15. But certain guys
13, give me a
look
12,
a certain way in a certain number.
10.
Like my quarterback that won the Super Bowl with, Brad couldn't wear nothing but 14.
Yeah, but
because he looked like
a
14.
Like,
looked like a. Here we go now.
I mean, 23 wasn't 23 before Jordan made 23. Like the iconic number. Maybe Ohtani is about to put 17 on Front Street and Center. Get with it. Just like get on the Ohtani train. Get on the 17
Ohtani, if you
train.
out there listening, man, let's switch up that number. Let's go to 7 or something. Let's just do that for me.
By the way, my man Nuno pointed out a great 17.
Who?
Keith Hernandez. You talking about swag?
No.
I know he's old, but Keith Hernandez had swag and still has swag.
I get it. Keith Hernandez has swag, still has swag. I get it. I understand that.
That's
Keith
a
was
good
great.
17.
He was a great Met. I guess it was cool. All right. Anyway.
We're
explain to everybody why you chose
as passionate.
Why you chose 9 though? I love this little backstory.
I mean, my dad would get mad at me for saying anything but that it was his number. But also, I gravitated towards it because it was Jordan's dream team number.
Right.
And, I don't want to be, I mean, grew up in Chicago, so I'm the Bulls are the reason why I'm in this business. But I didn't want to go obvious 23. So I was like, okay, let's go.
Right. You come out with 23 and get the eye roll. You come out with 9, it's like, oh, yeah.
And Ron Harper was my favorite Bull. So
Ron Harper.
Yeah, Harper was nice, though. Yeah. But Harper wore 4.
And 9.
And 9. He wore 4, 9. See? Hot dog
he was
numbers.
with the Cavs, I think, right?
Yes, he wore.
Single-digit hot dogs, man.
Yeah. Wait, Pat just said something in my ear about Ted Williams?
Yeah, I wore 9 in baseball because of Ted Williams.
I wasn't born then. Let's move along.
I mean, you
Pat's
now
12 years old.
Ted
How do you even know
Williams?
who Ted Williams is?
Yeah, I wasn't born then, though, man. I know who he is, but I wasn't looking at numbers back then because I wasn't born.
Look, if you're playing baseball, you want to model yourself after one of the greatest hitters ever, right? Ted Williams. Come on, man.
I guess so.
Well, you didn't do a good job after modeling yourself, but that's a whole nother conversation.
All right, well, let's continue talking NBA with Cassidy, and we have a game tonight. I'm calling this a Devin Booker game.
So is Mike Budenholzer.
Yeah, good point. But don't you feel like, because in his finals he's shooting under 40%. He's had a couple of games now where he's struggled. They look like they're trying to lock him down. But as we were trying to create what he can be, and I think Devin Booker really has done a lot for his image as one of the next up and coming stars in the NBA, if not now arrived. This is a game where, okay, let's see what you're about. They've made adjustments to you to make this game a struggle.
Yeah.
But this is a huge, you lead your team to win this game. You are right there to win a championship. What do you have tonight? I'm watching Devin Booker tonight. This is a Devin Booker game.
Yeah, I mean, Devin Booker is under the pressure of a superstar. Even though this is his first NBA playoffs, let alone NBA finals, like the criticism he's getting right now is superstar criticism, because ultimately you could say, like, all right, he had an off night, a real off night in game 3, but he was pretty good in games 1 and 2. I will say, though, ever since he broke his nose, he hasn't been the same as he's been dominant, as he dominated early on in these playoffs. I believe he hasn't shot over 50%. Hembo just relayed this stat to me, and I'm hoping I heard it right, but he hasn't shot over 50% since breaking his nose. And I think early in that Clippers series, we kind of, credited, like, hey, he's dealing with the no mask, like getting hit in the face, maybe it's in his head. Maybe that's carrying over a little bit to this series, but also they're keying in on him.
Was game 1 of the Clippers series when he broke his nose? That was Pat Beverly?
game 2. Game 2.
All right, so since then, 35.9% he's shooting from the field.
So, I mean, whether you want to
give
credit
him an
that
out or not?
Yeah, give him an out there or not. There has been some drop off since he hurt himself there. Devin and Chris, they are the head of the snake here, even though I say that Ayton is the X factor for this team. As we saw in game 3, having him off the court, they just can't do that against Giannis.
Yeah.
But, on the off day, Devin and Chris, they watched game 3 tape in their hotel rooms in Milwaukee. They tend to do that on off days. They live on the same block, by the way, in Phoenix. So they go over to each other's houses on off days to study film. And Devin, he said yesterday, he just needs to have a short memory. DeAndre Ayton said, though, like, this dude is scary when he's coming off a bad performance. And so they fully, just like you, Alan, they fully expect him to be on his A game. But I will say the Bucks have been inside of him in this game. That's their game plan. What they learned from game 1, that they need to throw multiple looks at both him and Chris Paul, especially in that pick and roll. And I give credit to PJ Tucker. I know a lot of people were clowning him after game 3, given that he, got dunked on by Cam Johnson. But if you watched PJ Tucker, he was very disruptive. And a cool, interesting note for basketball nerds is that, like, PJ Tucker was on the Suns when Devin was drafted. And Devin credits PJ for developing his game. And so PJ knows the secrets, if you will. And, we've seen, we give credit to Chris Paul and LeBron James for being these, like, fountain of youth, like doing this at 36. The way PJ plays at 36, throwing his body out there, he's not going to wow you with his stat lines, but if you're watching just his grit, I think he activated this Bucks defense in game 3 in that first half. And I just have so much respect for PJ Tucker, just his journey. And that's a big body for Devin to go up against. Him and Chris Middleton, which, we're seeing a lot of looks that the Bucks are throwing at both Devin and Chris. So, I do expect a good Devin Booker game, but it's not going to be easy for him.
No, it's not supposed to be, not when you get this deep into it. I like what you said about Tucker, because I don't think he gets nearly enough respect around this league.
No.
Maybe the players, you get him.
He's the ultimate tough guy. You think about his sneakers, you think about his clothes.
He's got that swag too. Yeah.
What was 2 years ago with the Rockets? He played he played in the series like just a week. No, just immediately after getting a root canal. Like it was the 2018 playoffs.
Guys
he had
like-
a root canal.
Yeah, guys like him, I'm telling you, guys like him are the ones that you feel like that they're the glue guys on championship teams. And he was a great pickup for the Bucks. I thought
Huge.
the Nets could have used him. When he was available, there were a couple teams you're like, boy, he goes to that team, it could really change him. And he's been effective. He can guard anybody, undersized. He'll guard bigs, but he'll also go up against a guy like Devin Booker and try to shut him down. And that's what makes this game to me, again, the compelling thing to see is a young star in Devin Booker. Can he overcome it? Because it's not supposed to be easy at this level. And let's see if he can certainly make that difference. Cassidy Hubbarth joining us right now in studio, giving us a Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. But coming up, like when we talk about Booker, let's go on the other side of things, talk about Giannis. And we spent the last couple of days talking about Giannis and where he really is, not just among fans and media, but among his peers. And there's a couple of good examples I think Cassidy can bring to this conversation, and we'll get into that coming up next. KJZ, ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and Sirius XM, Channel 80.